What's up, guys? Blade Master here, back with Cool Maps Part 2. Another Total War Attila video where I'll be showcasing some maps that I found while I was just, looking around, trying to find some nice maps to play on. So, this is the first map, and by the way, all the maps, coordinates, and relevant information will be provided in the description and in the comments. So, the first map that we're going to look at is the map of Raha, or the Raha minefield, as I like to call it. So this is a really interesting map because this is basically what swamp should be, the swamp map. It's got a pretty big bit of shallow water, like right around here. It's located in the steppes, like near the steppes, so it's you can turn on like snow and stuff during winter. So this is north south, and you can see that there are a bunch of bits of shallow water here, even dotting the edges of the map. And there's a massive lake in each person's deployment zone, although I don't think anyone would be using that. And then there's also a little bit over here. So there's just, the shallow water, which reduces movement speed by 20%, 50%, is actually in the middle now. So it would more than likely come into play during the game. There's a very, cool cool match that I played against JJ that I probably might have put up earlier than this, or maybe I'll put that up soon. So this is the first map, and stay tuned for more. So this is the Raha minefield on east-west, and you can see it still looks pretty even. There's still like a massive bit of swamp, like shallow water here, and it's again in the middle of the battlefield. And then there's again these two bits of shallow water as well, and over here too. And the main thing is that it's quite even. Despite the shallow water, it's not like it's a one-sided map. And another pretty cool thing is that each player has a downhill advantage, a slight downhill advantage when you're looking at the shallow water. So if you're going to bring your cavalry through here and your opponent just has like his own cavalry and he's waiting right, or you're waiting right, and then you can even get a downhill charge on cavalry whose charge has already been impeded by 50%. So just another interesting bit. So this is Raha on east-west. So yeah, I'll show you guys the rest of the map soon. So from the snow in Raha, we take a massive detour into the deserts of Alexandria. This is, as I said, Alexandria. This is played east-west. Coordinates will be provided. And what's really cool about this map is each person can completely deploy their entire army in the deployment zone. In the forest in the deployment zone. So your entire army could be hidden, and your opponent wouldn't really know about your army unless and until, and you won't know anything about your opponent's army unless and until both of you guys meet over here. And judging by the hiding mechanics and the sight mechanics in Attila, it could make for some really interesting matches. I don't think you'd be able to see your opponent's army even when both of you are positioned here, unless you have some exploratories or units that have great sight. So bringing them could be a pretty interesting twist on this match. Bringing those units could actually make a difference. That said, both your armies will probably meet in this bit of non-wooded area, and it could just lead to absolute mayhem. I don't think archers would play a big role in this game, and neither would cavalry. I think a big role would probably be played by javelin skirmishers because of their low range and their ability to kill any cavalry blob that forms up in the middle. So this is east-west in Alexandria. I'll take a look at north-south after this. So north-south Alexandria plays a bit differently, but again, it's the same mechanics that are at work. Both of your armies could deploy entirely in the forest, and both of your armies could move through the forest straight ahead, and then maybe take a left, and then your army can meet your opponent's army, or something like that. Or you could just deploy here and then move straight into the forest. Either way, I think this is a bit less interesting than the east-west version. But I think more than likely it would just lead to the same type of battle, that both your armies would meet in this little patch of unwooded territory, and then it would just be a massive clusterfuck there. But this would just take longer, and east-west would be more direct. For the third map, I welcome you to Nemetosena. Just kidding, this is Flevum, but I think it's around in the same area. And just a completely flat map, and pretty much just like plains, but much more like Nemetosena because it's green and it just looks like it, and it's basically the same territory. Not much to say about this map. It's just a fully flat map for anyone who wants a more competitive style of game. And now I welcome you to Tuliferdum, I believe the map's called. It's a pretty beautiful map. You've got massive farms here dotting the landscape, and they are up on a hill. And it's pretty interesting when you're playing it north south because you have two options. As both players basically have two options: do they take the hill, or do they go around and take the forest? So one actually for one player the forest is closer, but for both players basically the hill is very very close to each of them. That said, you can also play in the center, and it's going to lead to a pretty standard battle. There's a bit of forest that's helping this player here. There's a bit of forest, massive patch of forest actually that's helping the other opponent. But I don't think that many games will be played over here. I think it could just lead to a race to the top, kind of like who makes their way to the top of the hill or to this part of the hill earlier. So just another cool map. You could. I think this could make for a nice 2v2. You can have like archers or whatever is positioned here, some horse archers positioned here, and they can be firing into the general battle that takes place over here, something like that. Anyways, stay tuned for the fourth map. So welcome to Vienna. This is another very beautiful map, and again, coordinates will be provided in the description. It's a very nice map, and it's also quite a balanced map as well. That said, there are many little factors that could actually play a pretty decently sized role in the game. You have patches of trees here that help archers significantly because if as long as they're positioned in there, they'll get protection against enemy missiles. You have small hills here with a bit of forests on them, some scrubs here too, that impact movement speed as well. And then you've got this massive patch of land with farms. You just be fighting on the farms, and that could make for a pretty balanced game. And you'd also have some forest as well helping out your archers here. That's the main draw of this game, or sorry, of this map. You have a very balanced map. That being said, you have small features that help you if you want to make things a bit more interesting. You have rolling hills here, just small hills here. You have a bit of trees everywhere that of course help your archers. And in any case, you'll be fighting on a very beautiful map, just on top of the farms and stuff. So this is north south. I believe east west is just as balanced. So I won't be going over that. Instead, I'll be showing you guys another map. Stay tuned.